How I ended up on an NFL sideline at 32. This story has a few parts. It starts in fall of 2016. As far as cheerleading, I was a volunteer assistant coach at UD, and I'm at a wedding. And I'm there, I'm catching up with a bunch of old friends, one of them being a girl I cheered with in college. Her name was Janine. And Janine was also a Ravens cheerleader at the time. And we're catching up, and at some point in the night, I remember she was like, oh, you should try out. You would have a blast. It would be so much fun for you. It's right up your alley. And I remember at the time, in that moment, thinking, that's flattering, but I'm really enjoying coaching. So I just kind of put it in the back of my head, didn't really think much of it. Fast forward a year, and something had changed. I couldn't tell you what it was, but I was no longer getting that satisfaction out of coaching that I had in years prior. But I'm still committed, and we're getting ready for our first big pep rally of the season. It's the afternoon of the evening of, and one of our kids gets hurt. So our head coach looks at me and basically says, you're going in. We've been dealing with a lot of other issues, and this was just kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. We didn't have time to rework the routine. So I suited up, I went in that night, and I had a blast, and it was a lot of fun. And I remember thinking at the time, oh, you got some gas left in the tank. That's pretty cool. Fast forward to the end of that season, I still wasn't feeling fulfilled by coaching. And I remember thinking, well, if you don't enjoy coaching, what else is there? And I remembered the conversation I had with Janine. I remembered the routine I did at the beginning of that season on 2 and 2 together. And I looked up when tryouts were, and they were about a month out. I signed up, started getting back into shape, and went to that first round of tryouts, made it past the first round, made it past the second round, made it past the interview, and then lo and behold, at that fourth round, that's when I made the team. So coming full circle, if you're asking how I ended up on an NFL sideline at 32, it was a random conversation at a wedding, getting thrown into a routine, and not feeling fulfilled by coaching. Which I think just goes to show that it's a lot of little moments that added up to that. Which I think is kind of what's fun about these stories, is that I get to remember all these little moments that add up to a much bigger picture.